Jump right on for this one, man. I had to jump right on for this. I had to jump right on. Bron, is you motherfucking happy, man? God damn it. Is you happy? These motherfuckers just got 18 titles. Is you happy? This shit crazy. This shit crazy. I can't believe this nigga here, man. I cannot believe this nigga here, man. Is you happy? Do you know you are the cause of these motherfuckers just winning 18 titles? Do you know that, LeBron? And all his friends need to check. All y'all who LeBron fans, y'all need to tap in right now. Y'all need to tap in right now. Not now, right now. You bum. You bum, you bum, you bum. You bum. Y'all need to tap in right now. Tap in right now. I'm going in. I'm going in. You know my nigga is turning over in his grave? Huh? He is turning over in his grave right now. Turning over in his grave. He is turning over in his grave right now. Right now. Yes. Hold on. Let me set this up. Let me set this up because I got to go in on this bump. I got to go in on this bump right here. I got to go in. Hold on. Let me set this up. I got my phone propped up and everything. Had to go get a new jack. The other one was tripping like it was on two shoestrings. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Let me set him up. Let me set him up. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can visualize it. Okay. Do y'all know it's because of him? Huh? Y'all know it's because of him these motherfuckers just won 18 titles, right? And as a Laker, I am very upset. Very upset. Very upset. Very upset. I don't know no Laker that ain't. There's not a true Laker out here right now that's not upset with the fuck we just watched. Huh? Do you know that? It is your fault. These motherfuckers just got 18 titles. Huh? Do you know that, LeBron? It's your fault. And y'all want to call this nigga the GOAT? Come on, man. Come on, man. When my nigga was dribbling the basketball, they got one. They got one. And they had to beat him to do it. And he made sure to get that get back. He made sure of it. You take a dumbass three when your opponent is laying on the ground instead of going to the rack and dunking that joint, tying the series, getting rid of Dallas, that would have been us. But no, for some reason, you think you laid bird to somebody and you think you can hit a three and we was only down one. And look what happened. Boston just got 18 titles. 18 titles, man. You know how long it took us to catch them? You more worried about getting your son on the team than these niggas getting 18 titles. Every Laker fan in the world should stand up right now and petition for this motherfucker to go. He gotta go, man. He gotta go, man. That is the most disrespectful thing I have seen in my life. I just watched Boston hold up the 18th crown. And y'all call him, man, I want to never hear that ghost shit out you motherfuckers' mouths ever again. He already got the most losses in the finals. The GOAT. That nigga's a peon. And I've been playing basketball for over 30 years. A peon. Ain't no way in hell these motherfuckers should be holding up 18 crowns. See, if you're a real Laker, you understand what I'm talking about. This is total disrespect, man. Total disrespect. And this motherfucker is somewhere sitting, drinking wine. Man. Genie and them better make a decision, man. He gotta go. Fuck him. The league helped him get the titles he got now. How the hell you call yourself a Laker and you fine with this? I'm gonna show you what he fine with. This is what he's fine with. Do you see that? Huh? He's fine with that. He's fine with that. Come on, man. 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 All Laker fans should stand up right now, man. All Laker fans should stand up and petition to get this motherfucker the fuck out of LA, man. If you fine with this, you need to go. You need to go. You know how long it took us to tie these motherfuckers, man? It took us over 10 years to tie these motherfuckers, man. Now they got the most championships in history. We're laughing at he said we're laughing at Dr. Buss at the table. Come on, man. Come on, man. I ain't feeling this at all. And I won money on this series, and I ain't feeling it at all. I knew it. I said the minute he missed that three, when we lost to Denver, I said Boston gonna win the title. And this bum ass nigga, it's your fault. It's on you. And you got the nerve to have a podcast with JJ Redick. You bum. The league been carrying you all these years. They beat the trade for you so you can win. They let you go back to Cleveland so you can win. The only reason why you got that goddamn series in the bubble is because it wasn't number the AAU tournament. Excuse me. And you ain't won since then. Boom. Cold bomb. And I tell him to his face, I don't care about he went got Kareem record. The nigga shot more threes than anybody in the top 5 of scoring in the last 3 years. That's how he broke the record. He shot more threes than anybody in the top 5 of scoring in the last 3 years. He ain't do that out of just score. He went and shot threes to beat that record. Kareem ain't take a goddamn three to get 38,000 points. And Kobe, who third, didn't care nothing about it. He wanted them titles. Hold on, let me take this call. This is ridiculous, man. Hello? What? You said you're outside. Okay. The door's open. All right. Bum ass nigga. Hold on, I'm gonna get back to you. Somebody in here ready to buy some clothes. Hold on, let me sell these people these clothes. This girl been trying to come over here and get this outfit for a minute. But I ain't done with your punk ass LeBron. You give me money? I'm on my podcast. Bum ass niggas. Man, I can't believe this nigga, man. I can't believe it. He gotta go. If the mama was alive, he had to go. And then you want to come out here when he leaves. You could have came out here when he was there when you left Miami. But you chose to go back to Cleveland because you ain't want him to win no more. Huh? Just like Stern, you ain't want him to win no more. Bum ass nigga. Fuck LeBron. He gotta go. Him and his son. On his goddamn son. That motherfucker that I take the young boy though. The youngest one better than the oldest one. I take him. But you gotta go. Bum ass nigga. You just sat there and let these niggas win 18 titles. I can't believe this shit, man. Man, the next motherfucker I hear say he's the GOAT, I might smack they motherfucking ass. I might smack they motherfucking ass for the next motherfucker to ever say this nigga's the GOAT. This nigga's the GOAT is the bum. He's a fucking bum. Bum. Can't believe this shit, man. I got to sit here and watch these niggas hold up 18 crowns over the Lakers. Man, let's get into some more content. Man, this shit is retarded. This shit retarded, man. This shit is absolutely retarded. And anybody that think anything else, you ain't no motherfucking Lakers. And everybody that rolled with him and came to the Lakers with him, take y'all ass, pack y'all ass up, get the fuck out of here like him. Bum ass. He's a cold fucking bum. Cold bum. Let's get into some content, man. Bum ass nigga. He's a cold bum. I can't believe this shit. I can't believe this shit. Let's see what the prosecutor was talking about. Let me turn my TV down. You're gonna do it. Get that tape off his mouth. Young Thug gonna get it overturned, bro. He gonna get once the case is over with and the Supreme Court hear this case, they're gonna overturn the Supreme. Yeah, they intimidate witnesses. That's just biased as hell. We should have been confused on this thing.
How did you get this
I'm
information?
not telling the court. What I'm saying is based on information.
Okay, well, listen, if you don't tell me how you got this information, then you and I are going to have some problems.
We can have this. I have problems right now.
Okay, I know. Look, I don't want to know about your problems. Okay, at this point in time, all I'm asking you at this point in time is, how did you come upon this information? Look, if the case gets reviewed, the record's going to be available for our appellate court and for whatever reason. But it's disturbing that somehow you have surreptitiously gotten information in regards to the court's private ex parte conversation with a party. I mean,
A witness who was sworn in Friday. The court's telling. This is what I was told. True. This court handed.
Tell me how you got the information.
Listen, whatever you want to do.
Tell me how you got the information, then we can go ahead and go forward.
I'm not going to say that. What I'm going to say is this. I was told, and I hope this concerns the court.
It concerns me that you have proprietary information.
Why is it
or
proprietary?
Information that you should not be having that was ex parte.
Why?
With a party.
Why?
State of Georgia.
How about the witness? How about Mr. Copeland, who supposedly announced he's lying and he'll sit for 2 years, and then supposedly this honorable court,
okay,
or excuse me, let me rephrase that. This court supposedly said, I can hold you. And Hilton supposedly said, actually, all of the defendants and then all 26 people are disposed of. If that's true, what this is coercion, witness intimidation, ex parte communications that we have a constitutional right to be present for. So that towards me, but I don't know what I did.
Mr. Steele, I still want to come upon this information. Who told you?
What I want to know is, why wasn't I there? Why,
sir? I'm going to hold you in contempt if you don't tell me who tell me who this information was.
I don't want to be held in contempt. Well, I'm not answering that question. That's attorney-client privilege information. I am not
attorney-client privilege unless you were in my chambers. That's the only way you can figure out.
I
tell you what. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. If you don't tell me,
you don't have to.
If you don't tell me who it is, I'm going to put you. I'm going to put you in contempt because that is not attorney-client privilege.
Attorney work product privilege. I am not.
How did you get that information supposedly from my chambers? Did somebody tell you?
I'm not. You should have told me.
You got 5 minutes.
Well, I don't need it. I want to continue.
You got 5 minutes?
This is what I was told. Mr. Copeland made statements that he admitted to killing Donovan Thomas and was to take my notes. No.
All right. Take Mr. Steele into custody, please.
That right there blew their trial. That blew the case right there. That right there blew the case. That does blew the case. And he cost himself a job. Sure.
Your Honor, would the court afford me 1 moment to confer with counsel regarding the appropriate remedy in this type of situation?
Okay. All right.
May I say one thing, Your Honor?
Yes, sir, you certainly may.
Mr. Williams does not wish to go forward without me being here. You are removing me against his will, my will. You're taking away his right to counsel. And you're conducting material parts of this trial without me present, and I can't learn about it by watching online. So for that reason, additionally, I asked for a mistrial. And I assume you denied, but I'd like you to deny our motions for mistrial. You denied the other people.
I've denied your motion, but I'll certainly take that under advisement, sir. We're going to be in recess for the next 5 minutes.
Do y'all see that? How is it that I'm telling you, you the judge, you are the officer of the court, you are the main officer of the court, and I'm telling you, hey man, y'all did some shady behind my back, and I know about it. And you as the judge, you asking me, hey, well, tell us how you find out about that. Who told you that? And I say, man, I'm not telling you nothing. And you say, you know what? I'm going to put you in jail. That's not corrupt. That's not corrupt. Just because I won't tell you who my source is, you going to throw me in jail to try to compel me to tell you? And I'm telling you, hey, look, man, y'all ain't doing something right, man. I want a mistrial because y'all ain't acting right. This is not fair to my client. This is not a fair trial. And your best thinking tells you, you know what? I'm going to put you in jail for not telling me. But one thing we all need to take notice of, one thing that's very important, the accusations that Steele put out there, the accusations that Young Thug lawyer put out there, the judge or the prosecution never denied it. They never denied it. Why they didn't never deny it? Because it happened. And they know if they deny it and he got proof, tangible proof, then they all booked. So instead, hey man, tell me who tell you. You ain't gonna tell me, I'm throwing you in jail. That's like a bully. How is that a fair trial when you got somebody that's like gangster type stuff? You know what I'm saying? Oh, you ain't gonna tell me. You getting punished for not telling about who's your source. You getting punished because you don't want to tell him about who done exposed him.
He fired her ass.
And he's supposed to be an officer of the court, the main officer of the court. But he don't want to tell you what you already know. And just because of that, hey, you got to go to jail, playboy. Nah, you ain't finna be knowing about my secrets and then not telling me who done exposed me. I got to put you in jail. Cold-blooded demonstration. Now, being that all this stuff is going on, allow me to say this right here before I depart. I believe that if Young Thug get convicted, I believe that he will be back on an appeal. And on that appeal, he might be released. If not released, he might get a good deal where, you know, he can get right out type stuff. Because this is a disaster. I ain't never seen nothing like it. I've been watching trials I'm talking about for a minute. I even been in one before. I ain't never seen nothing like this. This is corruption at its best. You got the judge, you got the bailiffs, and you got the prosecution all in cahoots. But it's so corrupt that when they come back on appeal, I'm telling you, if he get convicted, when they come back on appeal, Young Thug gonna be getting released, or he gonna get a brand new trial.
Yeah.
This is Hood Educated, not Lane related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there. If I said anything that caused you to think, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And if you're feeling generous, please make a small donation to the channel. Peace and love.
Love to be back on the field.
All right, folks, late last night, the Wall Street Journal dropped this story on their website, this exclusive story, saying that Paramount was pulling the deal, guys, come on, get the right graphic, okay? The Wall Street Journal article, okay, thank you. Paramount was pulling the auction of BET. And so what the article laid out, it mentioned that Tyler Perry, Byron Allen, Diddy, and others were bidding on the network, and that the sale of BET was not going to, frankly, help their balance sheet. Now, Paramount, based upon all available reports, they were looking to fetch some $3 billion for majority stake BET. Okay, that was idiotic, okay? Control room, pull the story up from the New York Times when BET was sold, okay? Now, remember, y'all, Bob Johnson and Sheila Johnson, co-founders of BET. They make the announcement, the selling of BET, all right? BET was sold for less than $3 billion, okay? It was $2.34 billion and the assumption of about $500 million in debt. So BET sold for slightly less than $3 billion. So think about that. BET sold years ago for less, was it 99? For less than $3 billion. And your Paramount, you actually thought somebody was going to bid on BET in 2023 for a majority stake for $3 billion? Anybody who would have given Paramount $3 billion for a majority stake, and not all of it, for depreciating asset, is stupid. And like that's just a dumb deal. So I need people to understand what's going on here. They actually thought that black folks were going to overpay for the asset. Now, here's the whole deal. When you're selling these companies, you hope somebody overpays. You really hope somebody is dumb like Elon Musk, who completely overpaid by about, $20 billion for Twitter. We see how that's gone. The reality is no cable network is worth any of that. Who told us that? Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney. This is what he said last month on CNBC when it came to the linear assets that Disney owns.
Are you staying?
Well, let me start with the fact that I did like retirement. I highly recommend it, by the way.
You're never going to get to it, Bob.
Well,
I mean, you did it for 11 months, and that was it.
It was a good 11 months. And I came back to the company at the request of the board. It was a company that I started working at in 1974, 49 years ago when it was ABC, and we became part of Disney. And I obviously have deep passion for the company and in the business. And I care a lot about the people. After coming back, realized that the company was facing a number of challenges, some self-inflicted, some caused by changes in the business, large-scale disruption of certain parts of the business. And while a lot of work has been accomplished in the 7 or so months that I've been back, the board believed, and I agreed with them, that there was a lot more work to do. And the timetable that we initially established, which was 2 years, seemed like it was putting undue pressure on us, even though we're getting at the work really quickly, but to accomplish everything we want to accomplish. So part of it was designed for continued stability and continuity, and also to give a team of very talented executives who work with me, time not only to help me through what is a challenging period, but to develop themselves.
Yeah. We sat down in February. You'd been back a couple of months. And I did ask you if 2 years was too short a time. And you said, quote, you can get things done very quickly. Setting the company up for success is what you were talking about. So I wonder, did something change in your calculation of how quickly you can get things done?
Well, we've gotten a lot done very quickly. Significant cost reductions, a complete realignment of the company in terms of its structure.
Right there, significant cost reductions. In the interview, Bob Iger says that his linear networks, ABC News, ESPN, others, could be put up for sale. Why? He said because those networks do not have growth potential. Folks, understand what is happening in the media landscape, okay? Cable news used to be here. It's now here. It's going down to here. So perfect example. When ESPN used to be in 100 million homes. ESPN is now in 74 million homes. Now, by the end of the year, they're going to be in less than 70 million homes. Why? Because of cord cutting. Pull the story up. This year is estimated that 9.3 million people are going to cut the cord, meaning they're going to drop cable. 9.3 million. What that means is if you have a cable network, you have a depreciating asset. So whatever, if you buy a cable network today, the moment you buy it, the value of it is going to go down because you're losing customers. BET, when it was sold by Bob Johnson, was in 72 million homes. They're now down, folks, in the 60s and the 50s. The game is being changed in cable, in the cable. So it would be crazy to buy an asset today for more money than what it's actually worth. It makes no sense whatsoever. If you actually run the numbers, BET at best, if you're going to purchase a majority stake in BET, it's probably anywhere from $1 billion to $1.2 billion at best. Now, why was Paramount interested in selling BET? Because they've been losing money on their streaming service, like all of the networks. Disney has lost $11 billion since 2019 on Disney Plus. Comcast last year lost nearly $4 billion on Paramount. Warner Discovery, they've been losing money. Paramount is even more perilous position compared to all the other networks because their market cap is small. You might say, wait a minute. It's Paramount, Viacom, it's CBS. Oh, they got the hit show Yellowstone. All that stuff means nothing. Pull up Netflix market cap. Netflix, y'all, pull up Netflix market cap. Netflix market cap is the highest of any media company. All right, Netflix, okay? It's 178 billion market cap. Now pull up Disney. Disney's market cap, okay, the close of today is $157 billion. Pull up Comcast. Comcast is third. Their market cap is 190. So actually it was Netflix, Comcast, and then Disney in terms of market cap. Now pull up Warner Discovery. Warner Discovery, that merger, their market cap is 31 billion. Now show Paramount's market cap. Their market cap, y'all, is less than 10 billion. They are the smallest major media company out of all of them. So they were hoping to sucker somebody black into overspending to buy BET, BET Plus, and VH1. That literally made no sense whatsoever. Now, a bunch of people out there have been commenting all day because they were like, oh my God, I thought Tyler Perry had bought the network. No, that's because a ridiculous website called The Streamer, which I've never heard of, put out this bogus report a couple months ago saying Tyler Perry buys BET. Y'all, the moment I read the story, literally, I knew it was a lie, okay? Now, this is not the actual report right here. This is a website that what you just saw was a website remarking on The Streamer. Well, guess what? If you go to The Streamer's website right now, you're going to see a 404 error because they took down the story. Everything in the story was a lie. I literally read it and I said, this is all a lie. But guess what happened? All these dumbass blogs and all these black bloggers, they all put it out there. So it was flying all across the internet. Hollywood Unlocked and all these people, B. Scott and The Source, everybody and their mama was posting. I'm like, y'all, stop posting lies. They were all lies. The first line of the story said Tyler Perry buys BET from Paramount Viacom. Price wasn't disclosed. Y'all, Paramount's a publicly traded company. They had to disclose the price. Then the fools put in the story, Paramount is hemorrhaging money. They lost $400 million last year. That was stupid. It lost $500 million in the last quarter. It's like, where do y'all even get this from? And this is one of the biggest mistakes that we're seeing in black-owned media and black-targeted media, that we got a bunch of non-journalists who have no sources, who do no due diligence, who do no fact-checking, who put this stuff out to the public, and they know nothing about what the hell they're talking about. And that's what I keep telling y'all. Stop listening to people who are not credible, who all they do is repeat what other people say. I can't stand all of those Instagram black media companies who all they do is just, hey, so-and-so is reporting. They don't even pick the phone up to double check anything. And so that's what you were dealing with right here. And so you had Byron Allen in the process. You heard possibly Group Black, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenya Barris, 50 Cent. You had a whole bunch of people whose name were thrown out there. Most of those people were not actually involved in this particular deal. And so Paramount now pulls it off of the table. BET is not going to be black owned. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to do it a little bit later. But here's the whole deal here. Anybody who tried to buy that network would have been crazy to spend that amount of money. It's smarter, frankly, if you're Diddy, why would you bid $1.5 billion, $2 billion on BET when you already own Revolt? It's smarter for you to take a tenth of that, 100 million, 200 million, and invest it in Revolt and build Revolt out to be a digital operation. Folks, understand what's happening in the cable business. It is dying. The numbers are going down, and those customers are not coming back. The best thing you can do is try to hope you switch them over to BET Plus, because people are no longer watching linear television, broadcasting cable like they used to. The costs are also a lot higher. And so that's what you're sitting here dealing with. And so I need people to I see all this stuff. I saw some idiot, what's that dumbass black millionaires? And I've dealt with them before. And again, and I'm calling names out because names need to be called. They posted some stupid tweet, the speculation. Anytime you see somebody throw out the speculation, stop following them because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. So that was this. So let me see if I can pull it up, because I smacked them upside their head with it as soon as I saw the tweet. Here it is. Paramount Global owns BET announced that they're no longer interested in selling a majority stake in BET after a bidding war of black billionaires to make BET black-owned again. Quote, many are speculating that it was a publicity stunt to get black people back watching BET. Black millionaires, y'all are idiots. Y'all are idiots. And you know what? No one should be following y'all. That wasn't the speculation. People are like, oh, they were doing this to get us to watch the BET Awards. You were already watching. That wasn't it. It was an actual deal. It was an actual offer to try to get the bids. But they got suckered into people throwing out crazy numbers when BET was never worth those numbers. It would be financial suicide to bid $3 billion for something that wasn't even purchased for $3 billion when it was at its highest. Who should we listen to on that one? How about Bob Johnson? This is what he told Bloomberg.
You operate BET before you sold to Viacom.
20 years.
You sold for roughly $3 billion, ultimately. So in hindsight, had you held on longer, would it be worth more today, or would it be worth less today because the cable world's changed so much?
It would be, in my opinion, less today, because once streaming came along and the technology allowed people to have streaming wherever they could carry content, on your phone, on your laptop, in your home, wherever you go, it changed the paradigm of cable, and it allowed people to sort of pick and choose in an a la carte way what they wanted to watch. So if you only wanted to watch Netflix, you just get Netflix. Cable, you were paying for a bundle, even though you didn't watch all of the channels. So some people were paying for, if you weren't a sports fan, you're paying 30 cents, 30, 40 cents, whatever it is now, for ESPN. But if you never watched ESPN, you had to pay for it because it was part of a bundle.
Actually, you're not paying 30 or 40 cents for ESPN. You're really paying anywhere from $8 to $10 for ESPN. See, here's what people don't understand. When you get your cable bill, you know why your cable bill is so high? It's because most of these cable networks, they're being paid per subs, meaning the cable companies are negotiating with the cable networks. And so they say, okay, we're going to pay for this. So all y'all people, everybody out here, you have cable and you hate Fox News, you're subsidizing Fox News. You didn't realize that, huh? Yeah, you are subsidizing Fox News. Because if Fox News is in 80 million homes and Fox News has negotiated a $2 per sub carriage fee, that means, pull your calculator out, That means 80 million times $2. That's what Fox News gets per month for the cable companies per year for the length of the contract. Yep. BET has a carriage fee. BET's carriage fee could be 25 cents, 30 cents, 50 cents, whatever it is. But just understand in terms of the financial reality. So when cord cutting happens, meaning you say, I'm cutting my cable, that means that the cable companies are losing you as a subscriber, which means that the cable networks are losing subscribers. Pull up the Comcast story. This year alone, Comcast has shed 1.15 million subscribers to their cable systems. That's Comcast alone, 1.15 million. Folks, that's money walking out of the room. If the average cable bill is $100, do the math. 1.15 million times $100 times 12. That's how much money Comcast is losing, and then the networks are losing money. So if you look at BET, the future of BET or any other cable network is going to really hinge on what is their digital strategy. So BET Plus, owned by Paramount, is not a part of Paramount Plus. Why? Because first, Tyler Perry owns 25% of BET Plus. That's one. Two, they actually are appealing to a different customer base. And so when you run those numbers, it makes sense to leave them as a standalone. And so what people have to understand here is that this is all a numbers game. This is a pure numbers game. And so for all the speculation, the white folks didn't want it to be black on, the white folks, no. They would have sold that sucker to anybody had they come along and put the big number on the table. Because you know who's trying to do the exact same thing? David Zaslav over at Warner Discovery. Oh, if somebody came to David Zaslav right now and said, I'll pay you $20 billion for CNN, he will sell that sucker in a heartbeat. Why? Because he's got $40 billion in debt from the merger between Discovery and AT&T when they took over Time Warner, which now becomes Warner Discovery. And so what I need our people to understand is that this is called the business of the business. Business ain't emotional. Business not dealing with drama. It's dealing with money. And so if you're a Tyler Perry, it's smart not to raise your bid. Why? You see many of the reports out there. They said, they got somebody post. I think the Shade Room posted this stupid post. Oh, Paramount got lowball offers. I put on the Shade Room site and say, what the hell are y'all talking about? This is a dumbass headline. They weren't lowball offers. Anybody who bid under $1.5 billion for BET, they were smart because it ain't worth it. It ain't worth what they were asking. And so what we have to understand is that what we're seeing in the media landscape are the major companies trying to sell for a maximum number because they know this sucker is this dying. Probably by the middle of next year, late next year, you're going to see your major cable networks literally be at about 50 million subscribers. ESPN was 100 million 8 years ago. There's 74 million today. They're going to be under 70 million. And Disney is already analyzing flipping ESPN to a streaming only service. And so television as you know it right now is going bye-bye. All of y'all who keep saying, oh, Roland, I can't wait till you get back on television. This is TV. This is TV. This is TV. The game has totally changed. And so for African Americans, from a consumer standpoint, we now have to make a choice. And that is, if we're no longer going to be spending $150 per month for a cable package, where are we now going to spend our money? So we can't keep demanding, oh, we want to see more news and more this and more that. I saw a bunch of people complaining about the commercial load on my Instagram page at BET. Man, they got too many commercials. Y'all, guess what? BET makes less in ad revenue today than they did 5 years ago. Speaking of ad revenue, if you pull that New York Times story up when BET was sold, in that story from 2001, it said that Black-owned media was getting 1% of the advertising dollars. I need y'all to hear what I just said. in the 2001 story in the New York Times about BET being sold to Viacom, that story said Black-owned media was receiving, get this, was receiving 1% of all advertising dollars. This is 2023. It is 2 years later. We're at, right now, between 1% and 2%. So if you want to understand also why BET is less valuable, it's because BET has getting a short shrift because they have Black consumers. I want y'all to go look at Brett Pulley's book, The $1 Billion Bet, the unauthorized biography of Bob Johnson and BET. In that particular book, he writes that when Mel Karmazin, who was a CEO of Viacom, and Sumner Redstone, who owned Viacom, when they looked at BET, they said that BET was getting $1,500 for a 30-second ad. The same ad MTV was getting for $8,000. Let me repeat what I just said. BET was getting $1,500 for a 30-second ad that MTV was getting $8,000 for an ad. Let me go to magazines. Ebony Magazine was getting $20,000 for a full-page ad that Esquire Magazine was getting $200,000 for. So the advertising industry has said, Black people, you are less than white people because we're going to spend less money on you to attract you than we are the white consumer. If you go back to that New York Times article, in the article, Mel Karmazin was quoted as saying, we think that we now can derive more value out of BET because we can sell BET spots at a higher price than they were being sold independently. Run the numbers. They are still Black and they still aren't getting the same value. So what I want us to do is to understand why the business of the business matters. I want us to understand it's not as easy. People say, well, Tyler should just get with Oprah and launch a network. Oprah launched a network with Discovery. It was 50-50. They spent $381 million their first year. Guess what? Oprah has now sold her equity stake in OWN, and the Warner Discovery owns all of it. I think she maybe kept 5%. Bottom line is they own 95% of it. And so understand, oh, Magic launched a network. Nah, no, he didn't. Magic don't own Aspire. Okay, white-owned company owns Aspire. Bounce was never Black-owned. You had a small percentage of Black people who owned Bounce. It was a white guy who owned it, and he sold them to Scripps. And so really, when you talk about who's Black out there who owns a network, yeah, you got TV One, okay, or a publicly traded company. You got Didi with Revolt. The reality is you do not have, you got the Africa Channel. Of course, you got Byron Allen on his companies, but you do not have as many as people think. So I need our people to understand when we're out here just throwing stuff out and just saying, do this and do that, and we need this. But every Black person who says we need this, my question to you is, will you support it? Because see, here's what I found to be interesting. It's a whole bunch of Black people. Matter of fact, let me pull it up. If I look at right now, if I go to my Instagram page and I see 6,516 people who liked my Instagram post about Paramount not selling BET, and I see 495 comments, I guarantee you, if I ran a check on the names of the people liking this, I could probably guarantee less than 5% of the people who follow me who liked this post actually contribute to this show. So when I go down the line, people say, we need this and we need that and we need this and we need that. Are you going to support those who are providing what you say we need? Greg Carr, I want to start with you. It's people get very emotional about these things when things that are Black owned and then people sell. To this day, there are people who trash Bob Johnson and Sheila Johnson selling BET. And I have to remind people that, first of all, the sale of BET created more black millionaires than any other company in American history. Because BET was private, it went public, and then it became private again. But when it went public, a lot of people kept their equity. And so when it got sold, they became rich. And so right now, Bob and Sheila Johnson actually own more stuff, have more black employees than when they had BET, because they've been able to buy hotels and dealerships and all kind of stuff along those lines. And I'm always trying to explain to people also that I get the emotional investment, but when you weren't the one who was there trying to make payroll, keep the lights on, it's a little hard for trying to say what somebody else should do, what they shouldn't sell. But I think what I want, why I'm walking this through, and I remember when I broke down the whole deal with Black News Channel, I needed our people to understand that it's not so simple just to say, well, do this and do that and partner with so-and-so without understanding really where this business is going and the mechanics of this business. There are people who've come to me and they've said, why aren't you doing this and why aren't you doing that? And I'm like, where's your check? Because it's real easy to say what should be done unless you're the one who has to finance it. Because I know for a fact that in the first year of this show, it was negative $391,000. I used my speaking fees to keep the show going. I know what I personally gave. I know exactly what that number was because that was my money. And so when we talk about even this, if you are a Tyler Perry, and a New York Post had a story in June saying he wasn't going to increase his bid, it was a great story, and it was a smart deal because his whole deal is, I'm not going to pay for your mistake. It's smart business. I need more of us to understand the business of the business and not the emotion of the business.
Yeah, Roland, of course, I don't think there's anybody, and certainly if anyone could say that they understand the ins and outs of media business as well as you do, that's the best they could aspire to. Nobody's going to understand it better. Black, white, or polka dot. And you consistently walk us through these things, and it helps us understand this. I will confess that I have no investment in black millionaires at all. I think I agree with Kwame Nkrumah here on Marcus Garvey's birthday, interestingly enough. And Nkrumah, influenced by Garvey, but he said, the presence of millionaires in a society is no evidence of progress. In fact, it might be evidence of structural inequality. So, but that having been said, listening to you and understanding, how you have moved through the world at great sacrifice and deep investment, my question to you really is about how we penetrate the hearts and minds of our people so that we can have a little bit easier time to organize. We know that the civil rights movement, the long black freedom struggle was undergirded by the black press, by black radio, by trained black journalists, and the platforms, for lack of a better term, in that period, the Pittsburgh Courier, the black radios, the Chicago Defender. Black people look to them for news and for information, for guidance, for opinion. And here we are in a media platform where I was just reading, it's interesting, Bob Johnson mentioned sports, just reading about the disintegration of the Pac-12 and how this is all a bidding war over content because people will watch sports, and they have turned a little bit from professional sports. The NBA has a contract coming up, and they're looking at these college leagues for content they can mine for profit. But we saw what happened with you at TV One, not an investment in news at TV One. We remember the days of Bev Smith and Ed Gordon at BET and the turn away from that. So now we got Tyler Perry with the same show with different names, whether it be the Oval or whatever, Brothers and Sisters, all them scripted. The dumbing down of Black America parallels the dumbing down of America. That's why these hillbillies will go out there and claim that Donald Trump won the election. My question to you is, what do you see as the future and the strategy for news and information in a moment in American and world history when we need it now more than ever? What role? How does the Black Star Network? How does independently owned? How does that fit in this landscape?
Mhm.
So I'll unpack it this way, because you called it the dumbing down, but it's actually not. It's actually the demand for that type of content. Here's what I mean by that.
Mhm.
And I'll ask Lauren and Candace this, because they are two Black women. How many of you, Candace and Lauren, how many of you know highly educated, highly compensated Black women who love the Real Housewives shows and Love and Hip Hop?
You trying to get us in trouble, Roland?
No. All you gotta say, all you gotta say is, I know some.
But that is a niche market that does not accompany the particular demographic you described.
Actually, it is. Let me explain you why. Let me explain you why. It's because of these two right here. When Greg's brother says on our promo, "Bring your eyeballs home," wherever Black eyeballs go, that's where the industry goes. Let me explain this. If you pull the Nielsen report, Black people, I need everybody listen to what I'm about to say. Black people watch more TV than any other group in America, and it ain't even close. Our television consumption exceeds an average work week. Black consumers literally watch, listen to me clearly, Black consumers literally watch more TV than a 40-hour work week. That's how much TV we consume. If you look at daytime television, if you want a successful daytime show, all you have to do is capture the Black demo. You capture that, then you pick up a few white folks and others, you have a successful show, you make money. So all of these networks, so there's a reason why you are seeing a plethora of Black content. Bravo, MTV, VH1, Lifetime. We could go on because we consume it all. So what happens then is that you have Black folks who are driving these shows. Our viewing habits are driving the content. So they go, that's what you want to see. So I'll give you a perfect example. Candace, you're a lawyer. Have you noticed the explosion of true crime shows?
Oh
on
yeah.
television?
Oh yeah, and podcasts.
Have you noticed have you noticed how many of those shows feature Black people? Do you know why? Because that demo, those shows have exploded with Black viewers.
That's right.
And so what then happens is when we watch those shows, TV One literally has now, it used to be like just Tuesday nights. They got now like 2 nights, it's just true crime. Go down the line. You can network after network after network after network. So what now then happens is we flock to those shows, we record them, we watch them live, we watch the playback. Advertisers spend crazy money on that, and then they go, yeah, they're not watching the stuff over there. So to answer Greg's point, what we do is we say, oh, we would love to see news and this. But when it comes to what we do with this, it's not that. And that's the problem where we are now. And then when something happens, we then go, why didn't anybody tell me about that? It's because you were watching true crime shows, you were watching Love and Hip Hop, you were watching Real Housewives, you were watching daytime television, you were watching everything else, And so then when that suffers, and I go back to Bob Johnson when he had BET, I remember being at NABJ, and he gave a keynote speech, and somebody stood up, why are you not showing HBCU football games? He said, because y'all don't watch. Well, why don't you have more news? He said, because y'all don't watch.
Y'all don't watch. Rolling.
The numbers are the numbers. And on the last point, I'm just going to give you this here. Tyree Nichols. When the body camp, there were 4,000 people who were watching us, which was actually higher than what we normally get live. 15 minutes after the body cam video watch, we hit 29,000 live viewers. The other day, what was the big story that happened a week ago? What was it, Kara? I forgot. Something happened, and everybody came to see what I had to say. I don't know what the hell just happened. I can't remember what it was. We almost had 10. Oh, I'm sorry. No. It was Montgomery. Okay. The Monday after the brawl, almost 10,000 people watching live. So they're there. We're choosing to watch something else until we go, oh my goodness, let's go find a black news guy. It's our viewing habits. It's our consumption. Candace, go ahead.
It is our viewing habits, but it's also the fact that there's a lot of good TV out there, black and white. So you just have more choice. And like you said, when you're